Hey everyone, I'm going to show you how to play some simple guitar chords. If you've never played a guitar chord before and you want to start actually doing some chords, playing some chord progressions without struggling, I'm going to show you the simplest, easiest guitar chords to play. So let's get started with the first one, and you're actually going to need your guitar for this, so make sure to pull that out. Now, let's go and look at the first thing here, which is E minor. The E minor chord you can play with 0 fingers. You can just take your pick and strum the top 3 strings like this. And now make sure you see these little X's right here. You don't want to be playing those big strings. You only want to play these 3 higher strings right here. And you get that E minor sound like that. Simple. Let's move over to the next string, or the next chord sequence thing here. This is going to be 1 finger. With a 1 finger, you're going to be able to play the E major. So let's take a look at E major right here. This is the 3rd string, 1, 2, and 3. You're going to put your first finger right there. I like the tone of this a little bit better, I guess. So there you go. Now you could play your E right there. So tone's actually pretty important. Tone and tune. I just noticed my guitar was a little out of tune. Just a smidgen out of tune. It makes it sound a lot worse. But here's back to the kind of crispier tone, but now I'm in tune. So you can tell the tone actually sounds pretty decent there, but you can make it sound like this as well. Sounds different now. So we're going to look at the E major, which is just going to be 1 finger here. This is different from the E minor. So if we go back to E minor with no fingers, we see the difference between these 2 chords is actually only 1 finger, correct? We see this has been added 1 finger right here, E and E minor. And this is how all the different majors and minor chords work together. You basically just change 1 note and it switches it from the major to the minor. You just shift that note down to the next fret. Pretty cool. Now, it looks kind of like you're doing the same thing here for C, but the thing is, well, it's just a coincidence. So let's take a look at the C now, which is going to be 1 finger, and it's going to be the next string down. So you're going to head over here. Pretty simple there. It's going to be pretty much the same thing as E. Now what you could do is just kind of switch between the 3 chords and the E minor. Alright, let's find the next one here, which is going to be the F. You're just going to take 1 finger and put it across 2 strings here, just like that. Now make sure to only play those 2 strings. You don't want to play 3 here. Notice all the X's are covering everything except for those 2 strings. You're just going to play these 2 little strings right here. And you get this nice F. So now you have a C, an E minor, and an F. Alright. Now at this point I would actually have my students start playing some chord progressions with this. But we're not really going to be going into chord progressions in this lesson. If you want to go back to chord progressions, you can head over here. With these 3 chords, you can play chord progressions, the chord progressions I gave you. So E minor, C, and F are part of the, give you 7 chords to play over here with the chord progression. So those are part of the 7 chords. And, you can play little chord progressions with E minor, C, and F. Kind of cool. Let's head on to the next 2. You're going to take a look at 2 fingers now. So there's a whole bunch of chords we put 2 fingers. Now, let's go ahead and look at G first. G is pretty easy. So you're going to take the last 2 fingers, the pinky and the ring. You're going to put them on these 2 strings. Give that a strum. Again, it's just 3 strings. So we're not even going to be playing the other 3. You can see here the X's. Just to remind you on that. So a lot of students tend to strum all the strings because they're not thinking about that. And it doesn't sound good. It just sounds like that. So when you hit the 3, it sounds good like that. That was G, is pretty easy. Let's head over to A. Now we're going to actually use a Spider-Man grip. These middle 2 fingers for the D, or sorry, for the A. Right there in the middle, as you can see my Spider-Man grip. And when we switch this A major, by the way, if it doesn't tell you that it's a A major, then it's referring to A major. If it has an AM like this, it's referring to the A minor. So this is A major and this is A minor, even though we don't write out the actual words. Anyway, let's go over here to this 2 and 1 right there. So you've got this. Notice how the middle finger is the same in both locations. So we're actually going to keep the middle finger down. If you notice my finger's here now. We're going to keep this finger down, and I'm just going to add the index finger over here. Switch this finger. Now here's the A major. Spider-Man, right? Back to A minor. Back to major. I'd like you to keep practicing switching between these two chords quite a bit. In fact, do it without squeezing. Okay? So I'm not squeezing, I'm not strumming. I'm not squeezing on the guitar here. So I'm just going to switch between these two a little bit. Alright, then we'll do it with just a little bit like that. Alright, that's how you want to kind of practice these chords and stuff if you don't know them. First you practice switching between them without squeezing, and then you can do it with the squeezing. 1 strum each. Maybe 2 strums if you really... If you're struggling with it, 2 strums will help you with that. Alright, so let's go down to the 3-finger chords here, and this is going to be harder than the other ones. These are not simple guitar chords, but we're going to try to make them as simple as we can. We're going to use 3 fingers now. So let's take a look at the shapes first. You notice that the D actually looks like a D chord, so that's kind of cool. And the D minor looks like a mountain. Okay, it's like a mountain range there. So the D and the D minor. So for D, let's play these 3. Alright, you're probably still thinking about the other chords right now, but, you know. Let's take a look at this D. The hardest part about D is going to be getting the first string to ring out. So I would suggest to play only the first string a bunch, and maybe you might accidentally get it to not sound out very well. So keep playing the first string, then try the other ones. Simple, that's your D chord. We also have a D minor, which is going to be over here. Now here we actually have to flip these fingers, okay? So it's kind of hard to switch to this D minor, but it looks like a mountain. Again, follow the same thing with the first string ringing out. Okay, so this is basically where the simple guitar chords kind of stop being simple at this point, because we've got 0 finger, 1 finger, 2 finger, and I forgot to tell you about the B and the B minor, so let's just kind of briefly go over what that was. If we go back to the 2-finger chords, we have our A minor, A major, and our A minor, and what we can do is we can shift these up 2 frets, whoop, and do the same thing. And you get very close to a B major to a B minor chord. It's not exactly that, but it's pretty close. It's kind of hard to play B minor. Or it's kind of hard to play the B chords because we can't play them with open strings. We have to use bars and stuff. So technically it should be this. But if we just kind of, you know, play it on those 2 strings, maybe you don't play the first string or something, you can actually get a B or a B minor in here. It's not really all that important. Not that many songs that you'll be learning probably even use the B chords. You know, sometimes they do, but they're not too common. So anyway, let's also give you one more example about how to do some chord progressions with this stuff. I remember I told you that before with the Chord Progressions Guitar that we have these 7 chords: E minor, C major, F major, and A minor, and G major, and D minor. So if you could play those 6 chords here, we're going to skip the B, then you can basically make chord progressions with this. Alright? I'll just even add that as a little reminder down here. Yeah, it's going to be these ones right here. A minor, C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major. If you play these chords in any order and you just kind of follow the 4/4 rhythm and you just put 4 chords in there, you try to make it really simple, you don't do it like weird and stuff, it's going to be really cool. It's going to sound simple. So oh, it's just one chord progression. I'll try like another one. I'm just playing random chords here. I didn't even think about that. There was another one there. Let's try something else. Kind of like that. Let's try this. Oh, I like it. So this is E minor, a G, A minor, so C major. So we can play these easy, simple guitar chords, make a few progressions out of them, and it sounds really, really good. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Smash that like button. Now I hope I didn't scare you with my haircut, but if you actually want to learn how to play guitar better than the way that I teach here, I mean, these are just a whole bunch of different chord stuffs, but this isn't how you really want to learn guitar. I only made these lessons because I know that all you guys really want to know about this stuff. It's common questions. It's some pretty good information. These are things that are very important to know, but they're a little bit advanced. You know, a lot of these things are kind of advanced, difficult topics. So I tend to work my students through a very slow process. It's going to take them through a lot of different types of exercises, not just chords, but other things. And so the lessons that I give in live, one-on-one with you, first of all, they're more oriented about you and your guitar playing, not me playing guitar. It's about you playing guitar. Secondly, there's a whole bunch of more stuff that we go into. It's a lot different than what we do here. So if you want to sign up for guitar lessons, head over to virtualguitarlesson.com and you get a free lesson the first time you sign up. See you around.